This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
The North Central Correctional Institute, NCCI, of the Massachusetts Department of Corrections is located on a 20-acre hillside near the Westminster town line and Gardner. The prison facility is along Colony Road in Gardner, Massachusetts. Local transportation to the prison includes taxi and bus companies such as the Athol Orange Cab Company, Smiley's Taxi Company, and the Vermont Bus Company. The prison is classified as a Level 3 to 4 minimum or medium-level security prison. The facilities that house the North Central Correctional Institute used to be a hospital. This hospital used to be a colony for mentally disturbed people who were physically strong and able to engage in constructive and other forms of menial jobs for the institution. This hospital facility was called the Gardner State Colony and was established in 1902. The Gardner State Colony used to house a farmhouse and a livestock farm. In 1970, it was a self-supporting farm. The Massachusetts governor initiated a phase-down of the colony facilities, and the Gardner facility was closed in 1975 to give way for the construction of the North Central Correctional Institution on the same site. The correctional facility was dedicated on June 18, 1981, and it is classified as a medium-level security prison. The prison accepted its first 10 inmates 2 weeks after dedication in July 1981. The North Central Correction Institute has 18 buildings and a perimeter fence topped with sharp razor wire. The perimeter fence is manned by 3 towers in the prison and foot patrols of the prison wardens. Since its founding in 1981, the prison facilities have been extensively reconstructed and expanded. The rapid expansion and rehabilitation of the prison facilities have enabled the prison to increase the number of inmates. In 1982, most of the important buildings within the prison were renovated, such as Thompson Hall. In 1983, the perimeter fence around the prison was enlarged, and additional buildings were converted into prison facilities. In 1985, an outstanding modular unit construction was established and made larger a year later. A kitchen, gymnasium, and several other constructions were also renovated to make the plan of accommodating more inmates possible for the prison. As a result of the continued expansion and rehabilitation of many buildings in the prison, the North Central Correction Institute currently houses over 1,000 inmates. The prison facilities did not utilize one of the buildings in the Garden State Colony Locust House until 1983. From 1983, the Locust House housed the steward's offices and the identification offices of the prison. In 1986, a Locust building was used to house the food and farm services of the prison until 1989. The Locust building renovations began in 1990 at a total cost of $100,000. Renovations on Locust houses were stopped after the discovery of lead in the area around 1993. The renovations continued until 1998 despite a few stoppages through the years. This building was named after Timothy Beauregard, a correction maintenance worker in Massachusetts, in 1998. Locust has a 30-bed capacity for maintaining services to the corresponding local authorities. The minimum units outside crew perform community services supervised by a prison officer. The community service offered by the inmates to the communities saves the communities thousands of dollars every year. The North Central Correction Institute started working in collaboration with the National Education for Assistance Dog Services, NEADS, in 1998. Sister Pauline Quinn of Casco greatly contributed to the numerous programs in Massachusetts prisons. This program aims to provide the deaf and people with disabilities with assistance from dogs. These dogs provide essential feelings, such as a sense of independence and the most unchangeable feeling of freedom, which is so important for each student. The North Central Correction Institute was the first prison in the Massachusetts Department of Corrections to incorporate this program into the prison system. This program is much in line with the visions of the Department of Corrections to assist the victims in rectifying their behaviors positively. The program is also meant to bring the efforts of the community closer, to assist in reforming the victims. The dogs undergo special training programs that would perfectly fit people with measured physical abilities. This collaboration between National Education for Assistance Dog Services and the North Central Correctional Institute has expedited the dog training process and has also reduced the waiting period for new dogs in Massachusetts. NEEDS utilizes this collaboration ratio in assisting the little puppies that experience difficulties in training. Many puppies have been trained through this program. Other programs run in the prison include AVAP, an acronym meaning Alternatives to Violence. This is a volunteer program that teaches inmates ways to reduce violence by introducing alternate conflict resolution strategies. The prison also runs an emotional and healing program that fosters emotional and spiritual growth and promotes accountability and personal responsibility among the inmates. The groups of inmates are also provided with corresponding programs about HIV issues, which makes it one of the most important problems nowadays. The North Central Correctional Institute also runs a music therapy program for inmates that is supervised by the prison staff for music comprehension and practice. There is also an introduction to treatment programs and youth outreach programs targeting at-risk youth by making inmates offer a presentation of their experiences with drugs, peer pressure, crime, and incarceration. The North Central Correctional Institute also runs a relapse prevention program to help prisoners avoid the same crime in the future. This program seeks to identify highly risky situations that can cause relapse and also teach them the skills to address such situations. There are also self-help programs, which are volunteer-facilitated programs for avoiding substance abuse and crime prevention, and a family parenting services program for building parenting and family skills. This program is run by both volunteers and prisoner staff. The North Central Correctional Institute at Gardner is run by the Superintendent James Samba and a team of dedicated prison staff. Volunteer staff also helps in running of the prisons, especially on the running of the prisons program for rehabilitating prisoners back to the community. The Northeastern Correctional Institute has a high capital budget for running the prisons. The cost of running and maintaining the 1,000 inmates, the prison staff, and the various programs for rehabilitating the prisoners back to society amounts to millions of dollars every year. For example, the prisoner puppy program costs around $100,000 every year. Did you like this North Central Correctional Institute or Gardner prison sample? To get more works like this one, make sure to check out the free database of academic paper examples at ivpanda.com. You will find thousands of samples for all your study needs, without even having to register.